All right, we are live. Welcome into Snuffing Torches Survivor 50, episode 6 recap. Got myself, John, Rich, Clemmer, and Nate tonight. Live, we are live. I feel like people can tell the darkness. Basically, what's in John Rich's window? Is it light or dark out? That's a good indicator. I decided to not watch the screener. I wanted to watch it live with the people tonight, even with the speech delay. I was like, I want to experience this live because I thought it was going to be an insane episode, the most anticipated.
It was. There was a blood moon.
I mean, really disappointing. Last week Nate was giving me shit, Clemmer giving me shit because last week I said was a great episode. You guys said no. Today in the office, Nate, great episode. This was a bigger letdown than last week. Blew this week's episode out of the water. Everybody agrees with me. This week was very disappointing. I will say that last tribal, the little moment with Colby, Coach, and Sari, I did like that. That was very nice, very meta. Very bigger than the game, as Rico Bosco would say. Like, it was a nice little stepping out and realizing, like, those are the type of moments I expected on Survivor 50. So a little bit, some redemption in there. And I'm not saying this was like a bad, terrible episode. You know, it wasn't Zach Brown spearfishing for a half hour. But my God, was it disappointing.
Yeah, well, first off, Tom, you said last week was one of the best episodes ever, that was stupid. And Nate made similar claims today, equally stupid.
I thought tonight's had more good moments than last week's.
That's the dumbest thing anyone's ever said.
I'm still not entirely sure if Nate's doing an April Fool's joke or not.
Well, here's my thing. Jeff Probst can't get out of his own way. He just says the words Billie Eilish, Idol, and Blood Moon 1,000 times, and it makes it bad. The ideas are there. The execution, again, is terrible.
I think the idea sucked. Why not just have another week of
merging at 17? I think is awesome.
What is awesome?
Merging at 17 and having everybody together, I think is great.
That's irrelevant.
But they didn't.
The execution of going then to three. Hold on, then going to the three tribes of 5 and making them like basically vote someone out that they've been on a tribe with for an hour and a half. I think it's just the dumbest execution of that possible.
Completely agree. I also don't like when a team wins a reward and then has to go to tribal. Also stupid. I thought this whole thing was just was worthless. Why not have like we had last week? If you don't win, you go to tribal. So 2 teams go to tribal. You could have done that 2 weeks in a row and we would have had the same result.
It's just the way it was hyped up as like a tribal that will change the game forever. All it was last week, but one more tribe went to tribal. And instead of having like actual days to work with each other, there was nothing. You took 15 people. I mean, where the hell are Rizzo and Ozzy? I was thinking maybe like I thought maybe a cool twist was like maybe they would come back and vote in all the tribal councils. That could have been something. That might have been a little bit too much power in the game, but like they're immune and they can vote in all of them. That would have been cool. It was just, we've seen this before with the Mergatory. We've seen this before where they're at 10, they go to 2 tribes of 5. It's last week's episode with an extra tribal, except for the fact that these people have had no time to establish relationships. It is completely based on luck of the rock draw, of what group of 5 you end up with. It doesn't allow for it doesn't reward good gameplay. It doesn't even allow for good gameplay to happen because you have like 3 hours to maybe try to weasel your way in unless you're like Genevieve. And I mean, no one got screwed in this game more than Genevieve.
No, 2 idols.
Yeah, found 2 idols, didn't get either of them, and then just ended up on the worst draw of all time with her enemy who had an idol.
Nate also in the office today told me, like, this is a great episode because there's a lot of strategy. I thought the strategy sucked.
Not a second of strategy.
You didn't like them all going around telling each other everything that they knew?
It's not strategy, it's gossip.
Here's my thing. I think Nate actually thought it was a great episode. Now he's seen the reaction and is trying to say he was being sarcastic.
I'm standing on business. I think there was a lot of good moments. Obviously there was zero strategy. That was the dumbest scene I've ever seen where they told everything. I can't believe that montage. Or I guess it wasn't really a montage. It was just like they just all ran around spilling every piece of information they had. It was incredible theater.
What did you mean earlier?
It would have been great to see that all episode.
What?
Sorry, go ahead, Clemmer.
What did you mean earlier today then when you said it was a lot of strategy?
I was fucking with you, Clemmer, because you said, don't tell me anything. Okay, tell me a little bit. And I said, yeah, great
strategy. I didn't say tell me a little bit. I said, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
That was our exact conversation, Clemmer.
No, it's not.
Listen, Nate's favorite episode ever. That's fine. We get it. Nate loves it.
I don't get the bit here, Nate.
You said, don't tell me anything. Okay, tell me a little bit. And
I said a lot of great strategy.
I said, no, just tell me
this. I'll tell you what happened. I said, just tell me this. Did you?
All right, we don't need to argue about what conversation you two had in the office earlier.
I mean, I could clear it up or not.
Listen, you go ahead.
All I said was, did they rip off Pink Wedding? And you said there's a lot of strategy tonight. I said, okay. And I think you meant that. And then when like I said, you're kind of seeing that there wasn't strategy. It was actually a ridiculously low-level strategy. It was just like, who's my friend? Who can I team up with and vote off? You realize you're an asshole.
I really thought they were going to rip off the Red Wedding for a second there, too.
At an inopportune time.
When they came out with Blood Moon, I said, oh, here it comes. And then you almost couldn't even call it a twist.
Yeah, so I thought, because he also wasn't totally clear on when they got to the mat, he wasn't totally clear of what was happening. It was 3 people are going home. But I thought for a chance it was going to be that. It was going to be Pink Wedding.
Right.
Everyone votes. Someone else goes home. Everyone votes. I was like, okay, that would have been cool. It would have been an honor, honestly, if they just ripped off the Pink Wedding. Basically, we ripped off their whole show. It's a totally fair game. I also was like, maybe it's going to be, or people were hoping that it was going to be I don't want to ever do the 3 most vote getters goes home. That to me just doesn't feel like it's within the spirit of Survivor. What I tweeted out that I thought would have been a really cool twist is they do exactly what they did tonight, right? Where you have 3 groups of 5, 1 immunity winner from each, right? So you would have had D, Christian, and Stephanie. But then I think it would have been cool if you still had 3 separate tribal councils, but at the first tribal council, it's the first group of 5, right? So it's D, Suri, Emily, Coach, and Colby, but all 15 of them are voting on one of those people going home. But all 15 people can vote on it. It's not just those 5. Then you vote on the other group of 5 is on the block to be voted out. I guess it would really be 4 because somebody would have immunity. And then the final group is up and everybody can still vote on that. And then all day, everyone could be on the same beach being all right, who in this group are we going to vote out? Who in this group are we going to vote out? Are you going to protect me in my group if I protect you in your group? I think that would have been cool. Clemmer, you're giving me confused look. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think it was that was kind of a waste of a minute and a half there. But
I think it's a great idea.
Okay, I think what you could have done is you could have just had another episode of Survivor. We just had two tribes go to immunity.
Well, I mean, they do need to get rid of people quick. Like
I said earlier, you could have done that. You could have just had 3 straight weeks of 2 tribes go to immunity, and you would have ended up had the same results.
Yeah, if they did that from the start.
No, just the last week and this week. Do what you did 2 weeks ago, and then the last week, just do that.
Great idea. I'm seeing a lot of great idea Tommies in the
People
chat.
like that idea.
Genius idea, some would say. Cool idea. What was I going to say? Yeah, listen, overall, I thought just a disappointing episode, but I mean, we'll talk about it, obviously. We'll break it all down. And again, not terrible, but I do feel 3 people got kind of just fucking screwed over by just sheer bad luck. I will say Genevieve, Camilla, Colby, 3 people I like, not 3 of the biggest characters to lose. If we lost a Suri, a Coach, an Ozzy, a Christian, I feel like Camilla's all right, I like Camilla. She's not a huge character. Genevieve, I like. And then Colby, I'm always going to love Colby, but Colby is just the shell of himself, especially on that foot. So I think it could have gone worse for sure, but I feel bad for them because they got screwed over and there was no strategy in the votes.
Completely agree. And people say I'm being cranky tonight. I am cranky tonight. I'm frustrated.
He's been very cranky all day since the Mets lost.
Oh, that's true too. No, but I'm cranky with that episode. I'm annoyed that I really liked Colby. I'm pissed off he got sent home. I'm annoyed at the way it happened, where it's this kind of Genevieve was one of my winner picks. I'm annoyed she's gone out of really no bad play on her part. I hated all of this. Like I'm genuine because this has been such a great season. And Tom, you say they're not big characters. I really enjoyed Colby. Really enjoyed him on the show. I really enjoyed Genevieve on the show. Like these are people, Camilla, I enjoy in the show. Like this kind of sucks. We've lost 3 enjoyable people. Why?
And Clemmer, our worst nightmare came true. It's what we've talked about the last few weeks where, and you've harped on it probably the most, is finding an idol that you can't use is like the dumbest thing about this season. And it literally, like Genevieve, like what's the gameplay where you can find an idol and then you can't even use it to save yourself?
Just so frustrating. So yeah, I'm a little annoyed.
And I will say, if we're on the topic of disappointing, I feel like we've been hyping up since episode 1. I shouldn't say we, but we've been reacting to Survivor, hyping it up. This Genevieve versus Aubrey epic showdown ended up being just nothing. It ended up being like, it was like the Super Bowl this year. It was like it was just over from the beginning. There was never like a thought of like, is Genevieve going to pull this off? The only thing was like, is her shot in the dark going to work? Like, they were just never going to pull Christian Parr from Devon's. Like, the fact that they teased this whole Aubrey versus Genevieve enemy showdown and ended up just being that was, ugh.
Well, just don't forget, this is what you, the fans, voted for. So you have nobody to blame but yourself.
What does that even mean?
He said 63% of fans voted for more twists or whatever. To me, I almost feel like I'm being hypocritical because I usually am more anti-twist than pro-twist. I'm usually more, let's just leave it Survivor. Like, this to me wasn't even that crazy of a twist. This is something we've seen before that isn't exciting. It's not chaotic. All it is unfair. All it is unfair. If you're going to go for the chaotic blood moon and like historic, at least do something we've never seen before. Do the pink wedding. Do the idea I said. Do the top 3 vote getters get voted out. People are saying top 3 vote getters get voted out, but everybody votes 3 times. That would be the most insane math ever. You'd have 45 total votes, but at least do something so off the wall as opposed to this. I found to just be, it wasn't a twist. It just wasn't a twist.
Yeah. And if we're going to vote, if we voted for more twists, like, so if that was us voting yes, like what would they have done if we voted no? Because they still have to get just as many people out in that many episodes. So not really sure what we voted on, to be honest.
I've always said I don't like when they merge, but then still have to compete on tribes and challenges. I've long held that idea where a merge is a merge. It's individual gameplay. And then, so someone just said it in chat, and I 100% agree. It was a tribe swap tonight. It was not they were living on the same beach. A merge should be a merge. It should not be you're merged, but you're not. One or the other, please.
Yeah, it was a tribe swap. Tonight was a tribe swap. Tonight was
always celebrating the merge
2 hours
before the merge happens.
Yeah, I guess I would say I guess I like that they did quote unquote merge first before the challenge where they split into 3, because at least you got to see 17 people on the beach at once. You got to see that chaos. And I do think that could have influenced things where it was like information starts flowing around and stuff. And as opposed to just like completely random for 2 hours, at least there was a little bit of a basis of like people being together, being able to form some alliances, exchange some information.
I love 17 people on the same beach. I hated the execution of what they did once 17 were on the same beach.
Same.
Yep. All right, let's go through it. Start off, more good stuff for Rizzo. He's talking about how like he got to show his chops last night. I mean, Rizzo, to quickly close out him this episode because we didn't see him too much, but he, gets back to camp. So I get to show everyone I'm a good player. He hears Suri say that Ozzy and Rizzo hold the same place in my heart. That must be insane for Rizzo to hear. A legend saying that he holds the same place in her heart as another legend. And then he gets to go spend some time with Ozzy on Exile Island and like get an up close like show of him fishing and climbing trees. That's like a Survivor Make-A-Wish experience. So just another, Rizzo just must be having the fucking time of his life.
And not have to risk getting voted out at all or even play the game.
Yeah, wait till those guys get back and realize they missed out on, or they avoided rather, 3 tribal councils. And a really good thing for them too is it wasn't like they were all together. They were separated in groups of 5. So it's not like you missed a ton of like all 17 together, all 15 together.
They were pretty much there for all that.
Right. So they kind of got the best of both worlds there. And to be able to go back now, they're going to be in a great spot. And now they found out too that you made the jury. That's pretty good.
Yeah. We have, so I want to give credit to D. Sorry. We have Jonathan talking about first time being blindsided, how it's weird for him. I thought D did a really good job talking to him after and being like, listen, I just thought you were, you're too close with Charlie. I didn't want to put you in that weird position. I think it just D is just a really good, you don't forget how good of a player she is because we hadn't seen her at Tribal Council yet this year, I believe, right? So she's really, and I know she couldn't have been on the block tonight because she had an idol, or immunity idol, but 14 people left. She's at the jury. The other 2 winners are gone, and nobody's even throwing her name out. She is damn good, and that little interaction with Jonathan was just a good sliver of that.
Yes. She's exceptional. Also, her discussion with Coach, and Coach even picked up on it.
Yeah,
where Coach she caught Coach in a lie, and it was she's exceptional. And honestly, I forgot how good she was at the game. Honestly, even coming to this season, I kind of blew by her. It's no, she's so impressive.
I think her and Kyle are the 2 best winners of the new era. I would say comfortably.
Not Marianne.
Just edge out Gabler and Marianne.
Oh, Gabler.
Hey.
Yeah, she's
Gabler.
They're better than Savannah, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
So then we also have they see the boats coming, going to new homes, they think merge. Ozzy, before everything becomes a mess, goes, oh, you know who I gotta tell about this idol? Emily. She won't tell anyone. She's a vault. She tells Emily. Emily's like, oh, I won't tell anyone. Ozzy also tells Christian. So it seems like that relationship is fully impaired after their weird little sort of dick measuring contest last week. They're just fully locked in. That's kind of a funny trio, but we'll see how long this lasts, Ozzy. I mean, well, actually, I shouldn't even say that because everyone now knows Ozzy as an idol. So anyway. Basically, right? When as soon as they merged, but it wasn't Emily's fault, to be fair.
Well, we don't know whose fault it was, right?
I think it was Genevieve, because Genevieve's the one who sent Ozzy the idol.
Oh, okay.
That is the thing about something I was thinking is I've always said idols never tell anyone you have an idol, right? That's the old school way I always think of it. I do think with the boomerang idol, that strategy does change a little bit because there's guaranteed to be one other person that knows you have.
Tommy, wait, with the what?
The boomerang idol. Sorry, the Billie Eilish idol.
Thank you.
With the Billie Eilish idol, there's at least one other person who's guaranteed to know you have it. And you have to think that one other person probably told one other person who might have told one other person. So it is almost, and we sort of saw it with Rizzo and Ozzy on Exile Island, where you might be better off telling people about this one because they might know you have it already, so you might as well look trustworthy. I don't know. That it's one way to look at it.
It does seem like they're using it as one free trust with whoever they choose. That's the way the idols have been used, and it seems to be working every time.
Yeah.
No, I love putting it that way. And then they just all told each other this shows it's like an offering. This is my one trust to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Christian, Devins reunited, Rizzo freaking out, excited to meet Coach. Devins still doing the fake story with Aubrey idol between. Again, it feels like unnecessary lie to me, but I do wonder if that's going to have a sort of as we mentioned last week, Chekhov's gun, where how it being Aubrey thinking Devins gave her the idol instead of Christian. If that will come.
They keep talking about it, it's going to pay off.
Maybe she blindsides Devins instead of Christian, you know what I mean? Right. Something like that. What else we got?
Skip over something real quick, Tommy. Tiffany got a very early in the episode confessional. It was 5 words, but she was the first confessional of the episode, and she had several throughout it, and quite funny. Why have they been hiding her?
She's a good narrator.
Yeah, I agree with everything. I was convinced she was going home tonight because that's classic Survivor. someone's hidden forever, and then all of a sudden one episode you see from them all the time. Like I think it's changed a little bit in new seasons, but that's always was known to be like, you're in trouble. Like we haven't seen you in forever. You're getting a little bit of a farewell episode. So I was like, this is Tiffany getting her little farewell episode. Or the editors just heard Angelina complaining last week, and they dug through the Tiffany confessional files and just fucking plugged them all in.
So since the Zach Brown fiasco, and then last week, there's been a ton of discourse between the players that women aren't getting a fair edit and the women are invisible this season and they're doing a ton of strategy and it's not being shown. I think it's fair to say they probably did quickly re-edit this episode. And I think Tiffany was awesome. Like I really enjoyed her, and I don't know why it took 6 episodes to see her in front of the camera.
I doubt they re-edited it.
They admitted already they're re-editing the Mr. Beast episode because of the...
Really?
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either.
It was on TMZ.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't be stunned if they threw in an extra couple Tiffany confessional, because that is an easy enough thing to swap out where it's like, okay, instead of this person describing what's happening on this...
TMZ said it was fake.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I doubt that they would re-edit things. Honestly.
But I do think I don't think they would re-edit a whole like Mr. Beast episode. I think swapping out confessionals is easy enough, maybe, but they might have also not. That might have just also not. But to quickly touch on that, the Angelina and criticism of like women being under-edited. I know it's like, oh, this is Barstool talking about it. That's just such a crock of shit. Like Angelina was under-edited. Yes, Suri is all over. She's all over. Emily is extremely fleshed out, I feel like.
Yes.
Dee hasn't been to Tribal Council tonight. She was getting a big edit.
Correct.
Camilla, definitely a little bit under the radar, but we saw some from her. Stephanie, not much of, but Genevieve was getting a big... Genevieve versus Aubrey was like a huge thing. I think there are people who were under-edited, but like I don't think Joe's getting a big edit at all. Joe's barely been seen. So I think that's just like complaining to complain, and it's fucking ridiculous. And it's just fucking ridiculous. And I hope Survivor doesn't give into it and bend the knee.
Me too. I'm with you, Tommy. It is an absolutely ridiculous complaint. Like, and it's something honestly, like, and you can say, oh, we're 4 guys talking about a Barstool, whatever you want to say. I didn't notice it at all. And before someone had brought up, and I think back, I still don't think it's a big. I don't know. I'm with you, Tommy. Crock of shit.
It felt.
I can't believe TMZ lied to me. That's stunning. I'm trying to figure out why they would make that up.
Anyway, so yeah, we got everybody on the beach. It's chaos. I think seeing it for a full episode would have been interesting. We've never seen 17 people, I believe. We've never seen 17 people on a beach together. Definitely not for a vote. I think it would have been really cool to see how that played out. Even 15 people, even if you want to send Rizzo and Ozzy away. It definitely could have got a little chaotic if that was the whole episode, because we saw right away it was tough. But I do think, like you said, Nate, earlier, the theme of the 10 minutes that we saw of everyone together was just an insane, Survivor One World. But that was different. Survivor One World, I think. Whatever. We did just basically see an insane exchange of information. Like, we just saw an insane exchange of information. Everybody telling everybody about everything. So, like, I can't say for sure, but I feel like everybody knows about every idol. Maybe not everyone knows about Rizzo's. Maybe less people know about Rizzo. Chat can maybe correct me, but it was, and maybe if you guys know, but it seemed like basically everyone knows about everything. Maybe not everyone knows Rizzo as an idol. That was how
and they only knew about one of Genevieve's?
Well, she doesn't have any.
Right.
I guess where people didn't know that
she gave it, right.
She gave it to Rizzo, which now is a non-factor anyway.
Yeah. But also, now that she's out of the game, less people could find out about Rizzo's idol.
And it's great for Rizzo. Like, he doesn't
now it can't go. It's not a Billie Eilish anymore.
Correct.
Right.
The boomerang is no more.
It's just an idol. She got Eilish.
An idol that he can't give to anybody else, though.
Agree. So people are saying only Suri and Ozzy know about. Okay, so that's possible. Only Suri and Ozzy know about Rizzo's idol.
That's my understanding as well.
Oh, and didn't he tell D last week? Did he tell D last week?
He must have told somebody.
I feel like he told D last week, but I'm not positive. Yeah, Genevieve didn't tell anyone. All right, so less people know about Rizzo's idol, but
So people agree with you, Tommy, about G.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. What else did we have there? Genevieve telling everyone that Aubrey has an idol. Like, couldn't wait to start shit talking Aubrey. Suri and Ozzy and Rizzo kind of lock in, and then basically what we see is this old school alliance forming of like old school, whether it's old school by era or old school more by vibe, to be honest. But it's Coach, Jonathan, Joe, Stephanie, Colby, Chrissy, like sort of these old school type players all coming together. And Jonathan's starting to be like, I'm a new schooler. I'm getting approached by these old schoolers. I think they see me as one of them because of how I played in my first season, but I'm not sure how I want to play this year. I think, and we saw it in the vote, he went with the old schoolers. I think it feels like we're going to get a Jonathan Villain arc or like a Happy learned how to putt arc. Like, I like Jonathan going with the old schoolers, but playing like a new schooler.
Jonathan, I think he leveled up his strategy game a little bit. He really seems to be thinking, like, it really putting a lot of thought into what he's doing, who he's doing it with. He realized he was in a tough spot where he's kind of the middleman, and this vote, I kind of liked him kind of working through it. I think he's a dead man walking. I think anytime he goes to the merge, he's fucked just because of his size. Like, it's what helps him get through to the merge is what kills him in the merge. Like, people are just going to be angling for him. It's not fair.
There's also a massive debate in the chat right now over whether Rizzo told D or not. I don't know how we haven't got that figured out. I think he did told her 100%.
Rizzo told my memory, but
Rizzo told Camilla about the Billie Eilish idol. I don't know if he told her that he had it.
He told her like the concept of it.
Yeah,
he told her. Let's move on. Let's assume he told her. If not, we'll figure it out next week. Boat comes and they're like, hey, there's going to be a big twist. Mad scramble in the jungle. I did like Rizzo's strategy of like, why am I like running? Like, you could find you're actually more likely to probably find it by not running, by looking. He walked right past it.
Bro, can we remember next time we have a player on, can we ask why they all sprint?
I guess the thought is like you'll cover more ground, but you also like overlook stuff.
You have to look in the trees and the nooks and crannies. What was Christian saying? Landmark
tree. Landmark tree. Something else. I forget.
Yeah, but no, it makes no sense to sprint. I laughed out loud, and he's like, "I'm just gonna walk." I was like, "Yeah, you should."
I would have been looking for something a lot bigger than what was found. I would not have found what they were looking for. That thing was so tiny. I just wouldn't have been looking for that.
That was my one takeaway from the Fiji influencer thing. That idol, it was hidden. God, was that thing hidden? Like, it is hard to find. Like, it's in. There was no. It's just it's a random little beige thing that camouflages in. Like, you really have to look thoroughly through everything, like through every part of the island.
Were you grabbing at like spider webs and stuff?
Yeah. Like it. There's no point. There's nothing. Like, I thought it's like, oh, this tree will look very unique and it'll be there. It was just like in the middle of a random fucking tree, which obviously maybe that was different for us, but it feels like that's sort of how they do it in the real one now too. Anyway, Ozzy finds it. He's going to Exile. He gets to take someone with him, so they don't totally know what it's going to mean, right? But it was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was phrased as an advantage, right? Like, it was phrased as this will be an advantage. Yeah.
So at the very beginning, yeah. Well, no, hold up. I have the quote. Go ahead. I'll find it.
I was going to say, I feel like if you're Ozzy and you know it's an advantage and you know I'm going Exile, it's like, oh yeah, I'm obviously just like not going to be at the votes. Like, I feel like the fact that it was like, what could this mean? There was like debate where Rizzo was even upset when he got taken at first. Like, that to me felt pretty obvious what that was, and they should have been fucking jumping for joy. What did you think of taking Rizzo? I didn't really follow his logic. He was like the one person we know nothing about. Rizzo, I'm protecting him. What does that even mean? Like, what is that train of thought?
I read a tweet that was like, it's the least political person he could bring because he hasn't played with anybody so far. like in the huge merge. So it's
that's fair.
Like, he's not. I mean, there is, what do they call it, pre-gaming or whatever, but he only had like a week. So I don't know. I was reading like a thread that basically said that they liked that play from Ozzy because it's the person they could be least mad about him bringing.
And
I like the strategy. I like the strategy once he's like, oh, Cerise said, I got to get to know this guy.
Yeah.
That is a good enough strategy for me. And I understand why Rizzo was a little upset at first, because he's probably thinking, or I would have been thinking like, oh shit, how am I going to bond with these people? I don't know these people as it is.
Yeah.
We're all together on the island together. And now I'm going to be gone? Like, fuck, this sucks. Like, I'm not going to be able to make connections. Knowing what we know now, we realize, oh, that's not that big of a deal. But in the moment, I could see being a little bit like, fuck.
Also, he's such a super fan that he would have been like, fuck, I thought I was going to strategize with like coach and all these people all day.
Yeah.
But yeah,
also,
I mean.
I think the way it was worded, what I have in quotes, is there's a twist in the jungle that can change everything. I'm not sure they said the word advantage. So we might, who knows what's coming.
Chat's all saying it was Cerie's move for him to take Rizzo.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't like explicitly shown that, but it probably was because Cerie did say you should get to know him, like he's a good guy. But that wasn't like, it wasn't like after he got the advantage, she was like, take Rizzo with you. That might have happened for all we know, but I don't think we were explicitly shown that unless I misremember.
We were just told.
Yeah.
Like in so many words.
Rizzo and Ozzy, they're, I mean, great for them. What a come up for them. And it's also like, you don't even, you said it earlier, Clemmer, of like, it's not like they missed out on anything. No alliances have formed. Like, okay, mini alliances in those 3 groups, but like no like big 8-person alliance for 6-person alliance or whatever has formed. So just, I mean, all things considered, like that is, you can argue that's like better than an idol. You got immunity from 3 tribal count. You went from 17 people left to guaranteed on the jury, 14th place at worst.
Right.
It's certainly better than an idol you can't keep.
Yeah,
that's very true.
But,
I see Heather in the chat. Welcome back. Since she missed the Exile Island scene. Very quick, nothing crazy. Ozzy fishing. We did see, I think the biggest important of it, like we talked about earlier, is Ozzy confirming his trust in Rizzo. When Rizzo's like, I have the idol, which is smart by Rizzo. And so now the 3 of them know about the idol. They know about Cerie's extra vote. So that is going to be an interesting trio to watch. And also remember, Ozzy has this relationship with Emily and Christian now. I think Oscar is playing real well. Like I'm sure maybe he'll be a target soon. It's the merge and the challenges. But if I was going to give like, maybe we'll save this for the end of episode, like a pre-merge first half of the season, like MVP or most improved or something. Like Ozzy might be most improved. I love what I'm seeing from Ozzy every step of the way this season.
Ozzy and Jonathan, definitely. Well, as I meant to say this before, when Clemmer was saying good things about Jonathan, if you recall, he went to like Boston Rob, like Survivor boot camp, where he learned the strategy side of it. So yeah, it's good to see players who we haven't seen be great at the strategic side improve at the strategic side. I think it's just cool to see. I like seeing people get better at a game that's really hard to like get better at. Like you can't study it like chess moves, like because it's all so different, but it kind of is the same also. I just think it's cool.
You know what helps, Tommy? You mentioned like how like Ozzy all of a sudden now is like a target. I don't know if he is, because you have Jonathan and Joe ahead of him. You think like challenge beasts. Like in this season where you have so many like great players, some of them are great challenge guys, and they might be more of a target than us.
And also you have just like big character targets of like Cerie, Coach, Christian, Devins is known as like the idol and trickster guy. Like Ozzy can kind of blend in.
I think so
if he
too.
Can blend in. I do feel like that's one thing he runs the risk at all times, I feel like, of not blending in. Like he had that dust up, was it 2 episodes ago with, I guess, Christian.
Yeah.
Like they kind of are at odds, and I feel like he definitely gets like, he can get emotional. Like, but if he's able to blend in, I agree with you. But that is kind of something. I never had like 0.0, but I was definitely wondering during like that Christian argument, like, I don't know if this guy's going to make it however many episodes without running into somebody the wrong way.
Yeah, we're also getting down like so many awesome players that are going to have devastating like exits are still there. Like someone has to win. Obviously, we have Cherie, Coach, like just Ozzy. Like it just besides Joe. Like there's a lot of people I'm going to be pretty like sad to see get voted off.
I'll say this: the fact that we got Cherie, Coach, and Ozzy, I'd argue along with Colby, but I feel like Cherie, Coach, and Ozzy might be the three like most iconic people on the cast, or at least the three people are like excited to see back. Colby's right there with them, but the fact that those three all made the merge, like that's pretty great.
Cherie's pitching.
Yeah, you're probably right, Tommy.
Too. Like Cherie is seeing the ball and she's throwing 99 on the black. Yeah, like
I mean, people. We'll get to the tribals, but this was another night that like people just forget that they can vote out Cherie.
No, yeah, it's not even an option. There's not even an option to vote her. It's crazy. It's so funny.
They get to the challenge. Jeff goes on this whole speech about nature and the blood moon, which, listen, I didn't hate. If it was going to be a big thing, I would have liked it. I'd be like, fuck yeah, that's a great pump-up speech. But it's just 3 tribes of 5 at random. We've got I don't need to read all the names, but it's the thing where you're, keeping your feet on the fucking
the foothold.
Little whatever things. It looks like it's a challenge I like. Like I like that endurance and like
me too.
Pain tolerance, basically. I kind of been maybe like a little more in the game, but whatever. It was fine. And then basically the winner of every group of 5 would get an individual immunity necklace, which is very cool, by the way. I believe that's the one I voted on. When I voted, like it is sick looking. It's safe. And then the winner that goes the longest gets Applebee's. And poor Liz, shout out Liz Wilcox from season 46 at home. I'm pissed. What was the burger she liked? Was it burp?
I think it was like mushrooms on it.
Yeah, fuck. Someone in the chat.
They should have brought her out. They should have had her. That would have been great.
That would have been really good. Like, here to present your award is Liz, and she just walked through the menu like she's the waitress reading off specials. Would have been great.
What's sick is I'd rather see that than like a Zach Brown band or Mr.
Much more.
Whatever.
Yeah, a reward with Liz at Applebee's is better than Zach
Brown. That would have been sick.
Can I give a foothold challenge take? I like the idea of it. I like when they do a challenge where you have to like hold something, but it's per your body weight or whatever like that. So it's fair across the board. I don't find the foothold challenge to be very fair because
that's fair. It fucks over your guy, Jonathan.
Yeah. Like Jonathan has size 1,200 feet. Like, how is he going to do that? I like when it's like when they have to do the groupie thing, like Gabler, the one that he won when he was shouting out the Marines and all that. I like those because it's even across the board. I love the endurance part of it. I don't like that a big burly man like Jonathan who just has big burly feet. He can't stand on that little peg.
Yeah, but shouldn't certain games cater to certain people's like strengths?
Yes.
Like if they're doing a terrible job, if he's like screwed in everything, but he's probably got a massive advantage in most
of other challenges.
In everything else,
yeah. In like, literally every other challenge.
Okay, I concede. That's a very, very good point.
Yeah. Like, you basically that challenge isn't fair to Jonathan. They should lift stuff up.
He doesn't.
Okay.
That's fair for everyone. So we have Christian wins his group, but like falls immediately. Dee wins her group, falls immediately. Stephanie wins her group, and they get Applebee's. At this point, so I do want to ask, because maybe when you were watching it, at this point in the episode, were you like, oh, it's 3 tribes of 5, and they're just all going back to back to back to tribal council? Like, what happened? Or were you still thinking, like, maybe we're missing something and something crazier is going to happen?
No, I thought what they said was going to happen was going to happen. I was annoyed.
Yeah, I kept thinking, like, there was going to be a bigger twist, like, when they got to tribal, like, actually, you're all together. So I just thought it was going to be something.
No, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Maybe something with Exile Island plays into it.
Yeah, they would have come eventually back. So let's do the reward people.
It was the bourbon burger, by the way.
Oh, bourbon burger. Gotcha.
That was the Applebee's.
Because those are the people we saw.
The only I can eat.
Literally allergic to everything else.
Yeah, except a burger with so many ingredients.
The
So
most
we have
unhealthy burger ever.
Yeah. Jonathan, Stephanie, Tiffany, Camilla, and Chrissy going to tribal council. And here feels like a pretty obvious breakdown where it's like Chrissy and Stephanie are like more old school girls. They are one, and then you have Tiff and Camilla who are like new school, very strategic on the other. And then you got big old Jonathan stuck in the middle and, you know, sort of poetic, where I feel like they are building up this character arc of Jonathan of, is he old school? Is he new school? So fitting that he's literally stuck in the middle of an old school versus new school battle here. Camilla wants Chrissy out. Chrissy, at first, I was like, no. Because, listen, I said season 35, I was such a Chrissy guy. I've been disappointed with her this season. So when she first hears her name and she starts to cry and is like, well, as long as we just all come out of here as friends. And, like, I was like, oh, Chrissy, you're going to make me fucking puke. But then credit to her, she switches on like a dime. And I was like, but I don't think that's going to happen. And she's able to rally Stephanie and then rally Jonathan and get Camilla out. I loved her calling back to, I don't know if you guys remember, but season 48, Camilla had that same confessional where she was like, I'm running the bus over people and driving it back over them. Like Chrissy basically quoted Camilla's confessional from season 48 and used it against her. So credit to Chrissy for leading that vote. Also, one phrase that I think might have been used in this Survivor episode more than I've ever heard is cut from the same cloth. They have Jonathan, Stephanie, and Chrissy. Did you guys clock that? They just kept saying to each other, we're cut from the same cloth.
Cut from the same cloth. Yeah. Never really got an explanation of why, but
I was thinking the same.
They're just cut from the same cloth. Jonathan's like, yep. Oh, yeah, good point.
I'm with you, Ty, about Chrissy. Chrissy is maybe her and Aubrey, the people I like the least left in this game. And Chrissy was doing that whole thing. I said out loud, like, what a loser. Like, oh, I can't stand this person. So I give her credit, though. She did, like, her flipping like that and getting Camilla out. Good for her. Like, that's the biggest W she's had all season. I still want her out of this game. I still think she stinks, but good for her. I
was bummed with Jonathan's choice. I wanted to see him go with the newer people. Just for whatever reason, you think the older players, Chrissy, you think they're going to be more loyal to him in the long run?
Yes.
I do. No.
I think it was a really smart move by Jonathan.
I think they'll be more loyal to him. I don't know if that means it's better for his game, but they'll be more loyal.
I'll say this. We've talked about this before. Sometimes being in the middle is the best place you can be, especially when you have two very different tribes that want you to vote with them. Jonathan set up perfectly, like if he can just be a number for either side. And obviously he made the move tonight, which is good for his resume. I'm with you, Clemmer, like come individual time, not 3 tribes of 5. He's probably dead meat, but he's positioned well, while they're still doing this goofy shit.
He did the best he could with what was given to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, also credit to him that, like, nobody considered voting him out. Like, he would have been kind of an easy, I guess he had the relationship with Camilla and Tiffany from their original tribe, so they didn't want to vote him out. Chrissy and Stephanie like his old school mentality, but I think like
they could have though.
If Jonathan wants to play new school, you should do that, but you should play it with old school players because like Tiff and especially Camilla, who I think is a really great strategic mind, like could have ran circles around Jonathan, I think, at some point in the game. Like she could have blindsided him. I think like Jonathan, like, yeah, go play with like Chrissy and Stephanie, who like are way less strategic. Yes. I think it's a really, really smart move.
Okay, we'll see. I disagree. I think I would rather be aligned with people like I would just rather be aligned with Camilla and Tiffany. I like them more. I think that I guess I'm not really sure. Who do you think the
But he got the way stronger player out. Like, and that's really all you want to do.
I guess that's true. Maybe I just like Camilla because I had her as a dark horse. But
well, I also
Chrissy's annoying to me. I don't really like Chrissy.
I want to be rooting for Camilla over Chrissy.
Yeah, same.
Camilla will stab Jonathan back. Chrissy won't. Jonathan's a better player than Chris.
Why are we so certain? Just because somebody said new school plays this way and old school plays that way? Put in a lot of stock.
Because Camilla did it in her season. Camilla was like strategic, and her and Kyle were cutting through.
Yeah, she played not once in her season. I don't know. We're acting like we know exactly how all these people are going to work. And I thought he had a better relationship going based on the edit with Camilla and Tiffany. I thought they seemed like a more natural fit. Picturing Jonathan playing with them, maybe that'll work out for him.
I think you just love Camilla.
I do like Camilla. I would have played with her.
I like Camilla too. Again, I
feel like Camilla genuinely was kind of with Jonathan, because a lot of times when you see like Camilla talking to people, she kind of immediately like tells the camera or like she's full of shit. I don't think she was full of shit with Jonathan. I'm not sure that Chrissy won't vote him out next week. I, for whatever reason, trusted Camilla more in Jonathan's shoes.
So I get what you're saying. I think the difference is Camilla, even if Chrissy is more likely to want to vote out Jonathan than Camilla, I don't think she has the game play ability to pull it off the way Camilla has.
Okay.
Camilla is a much better player than Chrissy. Don't get me wrong. I would just, if I'm in Jonathan's shoes, that's exactly why I would align myself more with Chrissy.
Camilla underrated Jonathan's gameplay ability. That's ultimately what happened. She didn't think he was capable of voting her off.
She clearly didn't. You see, look at her reaction when she got voted out.
Yeah,
sis, she was the most stunned of anybody, like by far. She couldn't believe Jonathan could write her name down.
Do we not talk about the scenes from next week? I always forget.
We do. Nate doesn't watch them, but
I actually saw this one.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even remember what.
I just feel it was Jonathan just getting screamed at by like Tiffany.
Oh yeah.
So that maybe that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I think he probably stirred up more emotions with that than what he would have going with Camilla and Tiffany. And sometimes that's bad when you got somebody yelling that you're a snake and shit.
Yeah, and we did see him and D having a showdown, but like he said to D, you blindsided me last week. Like, so I think that's totally fair. Okay. So yeah, she goes home. Camilla 3-2, drag that man through the mud. That's it. They're all pretty boring tribals, but yeah, that was one. Our other one is we have Genevieve, Aubrey, Christian, Devins, and Joe. So we're finally going to get this. Well, we think we're going to get this Genevieve Aubrey showdown, but it's just like kind of so obvious. We're like Christian and Devins are butt buddies. Like and I don't mean that an insult. I like them both, but like they're attached at the hip. Like they're not screwing each other over. They have this connection with Aubrey. I think probably even from maybe outside the game, it feels like, or at least like from giving the idol. Like I think that had to come into the decision of giving her the Billie Eilish idol. So they're like not going to turn on each other. You have Joe just a lump on a log and like no real threat. And then you have Genevieve, who poor Genevieve played really well at her original tribe. I thought like the tribe when it was like Kyle and Rizzo and everyone, like she was in the majority and everyone was against Aubrey. Then she goes to another tribe, the new tribe. She's in the majority again with like Coach and Chrissy and I don't remember who else was on that. Not Jonathan, whoever it was, but it was Tiffany and Aubrey on the outs of that tribe. Remember, Genevieve was on the in. And now Genevieve just gets with maybe literally the worst possible draw she could have ever had. She got Aubrey and Aubrey's probably two closest allies in the game, I would say at this point, from what we know. It just couldn't have been worse for Genevieve. And she's like half-assed being like, maybe I'll get Christian to vote for Devin. She's got to know that's not going to happen. I think if anything, her better move would have been spending more time convincing them to get rid of Joe. Or being like, let's blindside Aubrey and her idol. Let's blindside Aubrey's idol and you'll fucking get it. I'm actually surprised now that I think about it. Why didn't Genevieve do that? Why didn't Genevieve
have? Like, she's a smart
player. I
player.
think we would have seen it a lot more.
But I often say, like, if you're a good player, you can find ways to keep yourself in the game. If you're a good social player, strategic player, I don't think in any simulation out of a million simulations, she could have found a way to keep herself in the game. I think she just got fucked as much as you can get fucked. It broke my heart to see her groveling, like to see her like trying to just find any speech play she could to try to stay in the game. She got absolutely fucked.
Yeah. This is the number one. This is the worst episode of the season, and this specific thing is like the clearest example of why. Like, this is not what this game is, especially when you have this many great players. I want to see people go out because they lost, not because of bad luck, and that's unfortunate here. This stunk, and I give her credit. She played a shot in the dark because that was the best shot she had. But that shouldn't be this. That shouldn't be what got her out. That sucked.
Agreed. And
I agree.
I mean, I guess
the more I watch Christian, I don't think he can win. That dude's not going to win.
I agree.
There's just no way. His eyes are too blue, man. He's right. He's everywhere.
I mean, I hate to say it. I know the chat's gonna hate it, but I guess begrudgingly credit to Aubrey for like telling them she's gonna play her idol. Like, basically by doing that so early on, it completely took the thought of voting her sort of out of their minds.
Yep.
Which is a strategy in and of itself. It's the Rizzo from last year. And then she holds on to it. And I saw Christian kind of made a face. So, like, now is there a chance that not playing it is going to sort of break her trust with Devins and Christian? They're going to come for her, try to get that idol back. Maybe. We'll see.
I hope so.
I mean, what more can a player do than be at the head of their alliance, top of the tribe, make the merge, have found 2 idols, and still have no way of saving themselves? Like, what more can you do as a player in a game where she was outwitting out whatever? Like, she was doing everything you're supposed to do, and then she draws the wrong rock.
They'd probably say she should have, just have like better relationships with people in general and plan ahead in any moment she got to speak with somebody in case some crazy random shit happened. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just trying to think what would be the defense of
she tried with Aubrey, and then Aubrey was a psycho on the beach.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what else could she do. And
I'm just throwing out what their defense might be. Like,
Tommy,
I don't really know.
Didn't Fishback say that was like it was definitely Devins and Christian obviously have a relationship outside the game, and Emily was mentioned in that too.
Emily, he didn't. I don't think he mentioned.
Did he mention Aubrey at all? I was trying to think.
I think when we were talking about the Fishback Alliance, we said Devins, Christian, and Emily.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe. But Aubrey feels like she'd be with their crew anyway.
And that just, I don't know, whatever. It just stinks.
So,
hopefully Aubrey's gone soon.
Honestly, and also it must be that they have a relationship outside the game. Otherwise, like, the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, kind of a really dumb move that like maybe they're going to regret of Devins and Christian not taking out Aubrey there. Why would you get the idol right back?
Get the idol back.
Take out a player who's, she's not dumb. Like, she's savvy, Aubrey. Like, she's, not fun to root for by any means, but she's a savvy enough player. You get an idol out. I guess maybe they value at this point in the game with so many people left, they value an ally.
I would say it's the number
over the idol.
Genevieve as an ally too, probably.
Yeah, I think that that would have been a good. Like, they could have picked up Genevieve as a show of loyalty.
You can't
they
trust
could have traded her.
But you can't trust Genevieve though. Like,
no, you can't in the same way that they Aubrey. But I think the idol is I don't know. The idol would have been big for her for sure.
Yeah, the pre-show relationships run deep when it comes to something like that, where it's like, yeah, we could make this move, get out the idol, try to swap Aubrey for Genevieve in our alliance, or we can just do the easy vote that we decided, 6 months ago that we would do. Like, we would just stick together.
And I think Genevieve is like a big enough threat that they don't have to like feel bad about getting out like the easy vote, even though she was.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was just a really easy excuse, like, oh yeah, she's a good player, like, and not even have to like think about what would really be good is.
Did you see every shot of Joe? He's like picking at sand.
Yeah.
He's sitting there to be, what does the sand do? Like, it was like,
so making him look so dumb.
You had another guy there that you could really obviously manipulate and completely have him do whatever you wanted to. Tell him this, you help him build a sandcastle, he'll do whatever you want. So like, you really could have gotten Aubrey out if they without a lot of effort or thought involved, as long as you had the balls to think that she wouldn't play the idol.
Yeah.
I will say I see it from Devin's perspective of why he kind of wanted Joe out, because him and Joe had that big spat, which I don't even know if we talked about, but apparently people were like, it was way worse or I know we talked about what happened, but I don't know if we talked about the reports, like it was even way worse there than it came through in the edit. So like, I understand Devin's being like, I don't want this guy with a huge fucking fight with around. And also like, if Genevieve does have something or shot in the dark works, I'd rather just vote out Joe. Like he's no threat to any of us. So I get it from Devin's perspective, but yeah, if you're Aubrey and Christian, you got to just be like, Genevieve is so much more of a threat at this game than Joe is or ever will be. And yeah, I mean, Genevieve plays the shot in the dark. Would have been cool if it worked. Would have been a great moment. It doesn't work, and she goes home. And that's that. That was it? All the votes just on Genevieve, right?
Yeah, unanimous.
Yeah.
Now, so we had 2 votes tonight. Well, 2 votes tonight that were
unanimous,
but literally unanimous. Because in Survivor terms, unanimous vote is still a vote if it's like, say there's 8 people, the one person gets voted out and it's 7 versus 1. We still consider that a unanimous vote.
No, this is true unanimous.
This was true unanimous in that Colby and Genevieve didn't even have votes. Like, so Genevieve goes home. Then that last tribe, which I found to be like the most stacked tribe, where you have Cirie, Emily, Colby, Coach D, 3 legends in Cirie, Colby, and Coach D,
and a winner.
Yeah,
3 legends and a
Emily
winner.
is also like an interesting character, fascinating character, kind of. So quite a stacked group. D is safe there, and basically they're debating between Coach and Colby because they want to break up this old school alliance. They're like, listen, Colby can't even walk. Like he might. I did like Emily being like, he might get medevaced anyway. Why did we even vote this guy out? Like that. I think that was smart thinking by her.
He's not getting medevaced. I'm with Cirie. He wasn't going anywhere.
I'm going to say Cirie made a good point. I was with them until Cirie was kind of talked it through.
Like, they would have medevaced him already. Plus, they're going to medevac Colby for a foot injury?
True. Well, like, you never know. It could get worse.
I had a question. Is it possible that they would have medevaced him and, like, there was something going on where it's like, it's Colby, we'll vote him out instead?
I mean, I think Cirie's reaction was perfect. Now, I say keep him around because you know he's going to stink at challenges. The guy can't walk. Right. Like, if any of the injury makes me want to keep him around.
That's why I was confused.
Not
that's why I was so confused. These are really good players. It's so logical to keep him there. He can't do anything.
I know.
That's why. I mean, I don't want to be conspiracy guy, but these are the best players on the. Of course they keep him.
No. But okay, we're saying he can't do anything. Sure, he's not going to win any challenges. But what they found him dangerous from a strategic perspective of being the head of the snake instead of the tail of the snake. They looked at that old school alliance of like him, Coach, Chrissy, Stephanie, Jonathan, Joe, whoever else, and they were like,
it's one less guy you can win individual immunity against you. Like,
I would rather take out a guy who's going to lead a rival alliance than a guy who's like. That to me is the bigger.
Yeah, and Coach is rubbing people the wrong ways, putting his foot in his mouth. Like, I'm not worried about him.
No, I completely agree. Coach is Colby's someone that people follow, people really will listen to. Coach is like a joke, like on the island. Like they appreciate him for what he's done in the game, but no one's gonna make their strategic decisions because of Coach. They will. I mean, Colby.
Also credit to Cirie. Like this was such you guys aren't ready for this yet. Like D and Emily are like, oh, Coach is messy because that little combo D and Coach had. Like, Coach is messy. We can't trust him. Like, he's the exact opposite of Colby. Like, Colby's not even doing anything. Coach is running all over. Like, we got to get Coach out. And then Cirie is like, no. Like, this is why you want to keep Coach around is because he is no good at this game. And Colby, not that Colby's fucking Boston Rob, but Colby is more likely to be the leader of this alliance. And this is why. And then D and Emily, yes, Queen. That does make sense, Queen. But the real move is to vote out Cirie.
Yes.
For the same reasons you vote out Colby.
It's not an option for them.
Right. I guess Cirie is less likely to and has really never been the clear ringleader of an alliance. She's not going to be the alpha of an alliance, but she's going to have her she's Viserys. She's going to have her words everywhere, her whispers everywhere.
That's almost worse, Tommy. That's almost more dangerous because it's less visible.
It's true.
Yeah.
She runs from the shadows or runs.
The same things were happening in like Traders and Big Brother when they bring Suri in, it's almost like they have so much respect for her. It's like she's not even a thought to be eliminated until like 8 people, maybe 10 people. Like they just don't even think about it. They just love her.
It was maybe Charlie in an interview or somebody, I don't know where I saw this, but talking about the unspoken 25th player this season is like social media, where there's so many returning players that have these followings, and you are in the back of your mind. I don't even think it's like unfair or like sullies the game, because that is part of like the game. Survivor is you have to factor in everything, and people are factoring in, I think, well, who are fan favorites? Like, you don't want to be the person that votes out Suri right away and everybody fucking hates you. Like, you can't let her win, right? But like, I do wonder if we've seen some of that early on where it's like, oh, I don't want to be the person who votes out Suri and everyone hates me. I don't want to be the person who votes out Coach or Ozzy and everyone hates me. I wonder if we've seen some of that early on. And now as we get to a little bit more, Suri would be a way more example of that than anyone else. But as we get to later in the game, we're going to be like, all right, that's enough. But now we actually have to take out Suri.
Well, you saw how hard it was for them to vote out Colby. They're all breaking down.
Yeah, I mean, that tribal I thought was like, honestly, one of my favorite tribals ever. Like, not or like vote aside, like
just discussion.
Like it felt very like meta, where it was like, yeah, like that is what I wanted from Survivor 50s. These people from new eras where you have Colby from season 2, like the original hero, the original icon, Suri, the mom who got off her couch, Coach, the Dragon Slayer, like one of the most unique characters ever. Then you have a winner from season 45, like was 3 when Coach played. And the fact they just had like a meta conversation about it. And Colby, listen, I say that I'm anti-crying in Survivor. This was an exception. Colby choking up, being like reflecting on how much Survivor has to his life, I thought was really cool, really powerful. The way that they sort of paid their respects to Coach Colby and Suri, and Jeff being like, you guys paved the way, or Dee and Emily would never even be here without you guys. I thought it was a nice, wholesome moment. And even Colby on the way out, find the joy, when he's like, find the joy. I liked everything about that. Obviously, it was like a better, like, I wish we had 2 more cutthroat other or like crazier other votes, so that one could have been like the wholesome ending. It kind of sucks because they were all just boring votes, but at least this one was like wholesome.
Do you guys think that was actually the last one
for Colby?
Like, no, like the order that we saw it. Do you think that was actually the order that it was actually done?
No.
I was wondering that too.
I was the order I would have put necessarily. I don't know how they decided it.
I mean, they know, obviously, I'm sure they have a pretty good idea going in, like, especially with these 3, it's pretty clear. They probably knew Colby was going home, but I wonder if it was actually done that way. Because obviously, you want that to be the last one. It's the most powerful.
They've been putting the better one at the end, right?
Yeah. You want to put the best one at the end.
Yeah.
That's when Probst is in his bag.
So they probably are moving him around.
Like, that's when he's at the peak of his powers, is stuff like the Colby tribal. The other stuff he does is just so brain dead sometimes. You just like forget how good he can be. And I was reading an article. It's like producer Jeff Probst is so different than host Jeff Probst, where host Jeff Probst is still the best, but producer Jeff just gets lost in the sauce, and you get just brain dead hourglass advantages and stuff. But when he's running tribals like the Colby, like, that's just great television.
Agree. And also, I like this point. Dee saying who deserves to make the jury for 50, not these 3, not voting at Emily. I was sitting in my car and being like, yelling at the TV, like, Dee, just vote at Emily. Like, if Dee just like paused that tribal and was like, wait a minute, guys, like, let's just vote out Emily. Like, I'll vote at Emily with you guys. Like, I know Colby can't vote. That would have been great. Just get Emily out of there and keep all the legends.
I would have given it a standing O. I would have been so happy.
Yeah. Apparently, Jeff mentioned the start of the tribal. It was the last one of them.
But you could have done that in post.
You could do that movie magic, yeah. Okay, so Colby's out. Is there anything from the episode we missed? I feel like we did a good job covering everything. 2-hour episode.
Very funny line from Tiff. If I have to scramble, at least I'll be doing it with some alcohol in my system. I thought that was very funny.
It honestly made me think, like, if I was on Survivor and I was on that reward, I like to think I wouldn't drink, because like you don't want to lose your state of mind, like your inhibitions. But God, being on an island for 2 weeks and seeing some alcohol, we wouldn't be able to help ourselves.
I see. I think I would hold back on that one, especially because I know I'm going to a tribal that night. If it's just a regular reward and you don't have to worry at least that day, yeah, have fun. But like this was a reward where you're paying a price soon.
Yeah, and you're gonna get drunk because you haven't been eating.
Right.
I feel like it might make me, or it might make some people bold in a way that they could use. Because a lot of people are just too scared to do shit the whole game. So,
and it is interesting. I don't know if I talked about this on this show, but one thing I talked to Jesse Lopez about from season 43 is he said like he almost didn't like winning reward because he liked being hungry. He thought being hungry made it feel more like Survivor and locked him in more in the game, where like there was nothing else to think about but the game, and it felt like I'm on Survivor right now. And he said when he would eat, when he got rewards, like the food would go like right to his head or whatever, and it like takes you out of the game a little bit. And it felt like it. So I just thought that was an interesting perspective I'd never heard anyone say before. And I wonder if there is something to it.
Makes sense. I'm sure it affects how you're looking at thinking and problem solving for sure.
Yeah, and then obviously the other side of that coin is your brain is mush. You got to eat something. Yeah. Anything else from the episode before we wrap up?
Do you think
awards?
I think Jeff kind of hates Christian.
No,
I feel like I've been picking up when he tries to crack his little jokes. Jeff's reaction is never like, it's not the laugh he gives other people. The one he dropped in the tribal delay about the Applewood smoked. I don't think Jeff was feeling it.
He did. I forget when it was, but the tribal that he was at with Mike White, and like Christian kind of interrupts, and Jeff was like, "Sure, interrupt one of the greatest storytellers in like American media, so that you can like." I take it more as like ball busting, but
I take it like Jeff actually likes Christian a lot and is able to do that with him because he knows Christian can take a punch.
I'm just keeping tabs on it. I'm always watching.
I will lock more into that. I like the idea.
Lock into that.
The only other thing I wrote down is just Applebee's got their money's worth. Just hell of an ad read from Jeff Probst. The never-ending ad read. That's all I got.
So winner 0-0 or let's do quick as we hit the merge. 14 people left. Who's your MVP of the season so far? And it doesn't have to be your winner pick, and this doesn't have to be gameplay, but like, and I think the answer is obvious.
Sorry,
no, I think it's Christian. Like if we're talking about like who's been like the main character of Survivor 50 so far, I think.
But he's not the MVP.
That's a different question.
Okay, well that's sort of where I was going with it, but
the main character has been Christian.
Yeah, take your interpretations up for grabs, much like real sports. Is it best player? Is it most valuable? I would take it as like who so far is it like you think of Survivor 50 so far? I think Christian. I don't think he's going to win, but I think that he's playing well. He's got a lot of confessionals. It's felt like the game has run through his eyes. I think him, Suri, and Ozzy would all be up there.
I'd say Rizzo.
Rizzo is in the argument too.
Same.
Yeah, but I feel like he's had more of a late peak these past couple of weeks. I feel like start to finish, Christian's been like the guy.
Christian's been the main character, but that's just because he does little quips in his things.
He's also been the tribal like all the time. People get the torch for the first time tonight.
Yeah. Well, they were saying Coach's first tribal and it was Colby's first in 15 years, Coach first in 13, 14 years.
I've been most impressed with Suri and Rizzo. And I guess Ozzy's Ozzy's ability to adapt this season and just play more strategically, I've liked.
Me too.
Yeah. I was gonna say Rizzo. Ozzy crept in there today though.
Honestly, you can't say enough about Rizzo having a week off and coming back and still being this sharp. Like, he's really impressive.
And winning people over immediately.
Mm-hmm. With no is it called pre-gaming? No, none of that. Like, no, I mean, he's a couple relationships, but like nothing major. Really, really, really.
All they know about him is that he didn't win Survivor.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, but I think it really does help him that he's such a super fan because like it's so genuine. Like when he's like, I can't wait to meet Coach or Colby. Oh my God, like that's real. Like I think it is good. It's real. I think it helps him gameplay for sure, and maybe he's putting on a little bit. But I read that as natural. I think it makes people realize like, oh, it lowers him. It like lowers his threat level. does whatever, they say putting people on a pedestal. It's the opposite of that. It puts himself lower than everyone else, puts everyone else on a pedestal so that they're not even looking at him as eye level. They're like, oh, that's just little old Rizzo.
It's a disarming mechanism.
Yeah.
He's so good at telling them what they want to hear. Remember, Colby was like, this annoying Nat Rizzo. He wins him over. Suri, this annoying Nat Rizzo wins her. Suri's about to sign adoption papers for Rizzo. She's so obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Like
it is a good point of, and I mean, that's far away, but I bet Rizzo it would be real hard for him to win at the end, to win a jury vote, because the jury is so much going to think about people, not only their relationships with people outside the game, but like sort of their whole Survivor story of like, oh, this would be a nice ending. It's like Rizzo, they have no idea. I mean, I guess they could be like, oh, that'd be cool that you just played, but he would have
that might be how he gets to the end, and that's also why Suri will never win, because she'll never get to the final three, because you can't let her, because if she does, she wins.
And this is also true. Rizzo playing exactly how Tommy would. It is crazy how much he stole my life. Like, there is another parallel universe where, like, I just got cast on 49. I took Rizzo's spot. I came in fourth, and then I'm back on 50 right now. And you guys are talking about.
Do you think Rizzo's why you are not on? You're not going to maybe be on the upcoming seasons?
No, I think there's other reasons, but we'll see one day.
It would be.
But I'll say this: I'm glad that I'm not on 50. Well, glad that I'm probably not on 51, 52, because I think that Rizzo archetype is going to be real fresh in people's minds.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm saying I don't think that's why I'm not cast. I'm saying that's why I think it would hurt me if I was.
Okay. Oh, I see.
I don't want to steal John Rich's line of thinking. Just an all-time TV moment if Suri can find a way to the end. Like it's really hard to root against Suri at this point. Like she was not my winner pick. Genevieve was, but now it's like I really want Suri to win, and I don't know if that makes me lame. I just really want to see her win.
Sometimes a storybook ending happens.
Yeah.
It would be like, I think it'd be one of the greatest moments in the history of reality television.
Yeah, it absolutely would be.
I was gonna say, like, do you want to try to guess who's gonna be in Alliance? But I think it's too hard. Like, but if I'm trying to separate people in my head right now, I'm gonna write down a list.
Yeah.
Christian, Devins, or Aubrey.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trio.
Emily.
You could then say that. So Emily is also with Ozzy, who's with Suri, who's with Rizzo. So that could be a 7. And then you have old school people like Stephanie, Chrissy. I guess Jonathan is with them now, maybe.
That's his only choice.
Joe is with them.
Coach
is with them. D, I don't know where D is, and I don't know where Tiffany is. So that's all 14. That's actually was easier than I thought. So it feels like, and these aren't like clear alliances, but it's like, all right, it's like chain links. Christian to Devins to Aubrey to Emily to Ozzy to Suri to Rizzo could be a 7. You could have the old school Stephanie, Chrissy, Jonathan, Joe, Coach, and then you could have D and Tiffany as kind of the floaters because they were with Camilla, who's now out. Oh, yeah, Tiffany is with Aubrey. That's a good point. They're saying D will go with Emily. That's possible. So, yeah, I think we're going to have like a old school versus newer school sort of showdown here. And I got to like the odds of the newer school people. I mean, they also have like Suri and fucking Ozzy on their side.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, updated winner zeros and jibs. Then we'll leave. Updated winner pick.
Fuck.
I'm sticking with Suri. I was just because I want to see it happen. Honestly, I think I like her. And then I had Camilla kind of as my dark horse. I'm gonna throw. I know I'm the only one picking a dark horse, but I'm kind of between D and Aubrey.
This is the John Rich.
This is the John Rich dark horse pick. I'm throwing Aubrey in there as kind of a dark horse. She was growing on me today. Smart girl. People seem to like her.
I do hate. So I feel like we mentioned it. I do hate that like they made this whole Aubrey Genevieve thing a big battle, and Aubrey won it. Like I hate that. I feel like we were saying like whoever wins this edit is going to get this heroic. Whoever wins this battle, it's good for their edit. I hate that she won it by sheer luck. Oh yeah, shout out Keith Nail. Big mention when they were like Survivor's not a picnic, right? Or it's on a cruise. What is the quote?
Not a vacation.
I think it's a cruise.
Right.
There's only like 3 people who can win.
So I would go with Devins, but I'm not going to because I think they're clearly making it. They're setting it up where like the boomerang, like he's gonna get fucked because that boomerang idol is they're saying is his, but not Christian's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think somehow that's gonna bite him in the ass, and I don't.
You think it's gonna bite who in the ass?
Devins.
So who's your winner pick?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would have picked Devins if it wasn't for that.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of lost right now. I honestly don't know who's gonna win because everyone who's left has such a giant Achilles heel that I don't know.
Clemmer, I echo 100% what you said. If we're just saying Suri can't win because she's Suri, Devins is the only other person who can win. So I'm going with Devins just out of process of elimination, or D, I guess.
D is my
pick. He's a former winner.
I know it hurts that she's a former winner, but like,
does
that really matter? Like when you really
50, it matters less. It is with this remaining cast, it should matter less, and she's really good. It does matter though.
If I had to pick someone, I think I would go with D.
D is my pick as well,
which I don't love.
I like that.
No, and listen, I like
her.
Lost.
What's that?
I like that we're lost. I mean, Rizzo. Let's not count Rizzo, but I think, like we said, it's going to be tough for him to win a jury vote.
It's tough. I think Rizzo is right there for me, though. I mean, a lot of people left. There's only honestly, it's a much smaller list of like who can't win than who can, which is a good thing.
Like if D's sitting next to like Rizzo and I don't fucking know Angelina. Like,
well, Angelina's gone, so that.
Oh, sorry. What did I fucking? Like, I'm just going. Emily can win. Like, Emily Flippin can win. Like,
yes, she can, but like she won't.
It just
like that would be so disappointing.
Tiffany is not going to win. Too small of an edit. Stephanie's not going to win. Too small of an edit. Chrissy is not going to win.
No.
Did I say no? Stephanie.
Ozzy, Suri, and Coach are probably not going to win just because they're Ozzy, Suri, and Coach. But maybe that's unfair to say. So then we're looking at like Jonathan.
Jonathan can win. He's too big.
Devins. Who?
Well, Jonathan can't win. He's too big.
Yeah, Joe's not going to win. He's a loser.
Christian ain't winning.
Yeah.
Flippin can win. Emily can win.
Can Christian win?
Yeah.
I think he's too other, as John and Rich likes to say. He sticks out too much.
Yeah.
He's been too narrator to win.
All right, I think it's tough, and I guess skills of that 0.0. I mean, we kind of gave our 0.0s, but if I had to add somebody to 0.0,
Tommy, I have a question.
Yeah,
or guys, I have a question. If I took Devins, D, and Flippin, would you take those 3 or the field to win?
Who is it? Devins, D, and Flippin, and
Emily
everybody else.
Field.
It's too wide open. Where I'd rather have 11 lottery tickets. Than
I think I would take one of those 3.
I don't think like Flippin is like. Is she really?
They just we alluded to it earlier. They just trust her so much.
Yeah,
they just
I don't really get it.
Come to her with information.
That would bum me out.
Oh, I saw some mention in the chat. Genevieve giving her jacket to Aubrey. I didn't really get that. Was that just like you won the battle? Like was it like a metaphorical? Yeah.
Somebody said, you heard somebody in the background say that was classy.
Yeah.
But that was funny. Very classy.
0.0?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of just covered it.
My 0.0, I try to do a different one every week. My 0.0 is Joe. Watching him just play with grains of sand is like, this guy just can't win. I mean, this guy can't.
I feel like I need Joe for sure.
Like, I mean, he talked like didn't give a shit. There's 5 people left. You're all talking strategy. You got a 1 in 4 chance of going home, and he's like drawing his name in the sand, like Joe was here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
He's so lost. He really is a kid in the sandbox.
He's rock right.
Yeah.
I guess I don't think I've used them yet. I hate to do it, but if I need a new zero, I mean, Coach isn't going to win. Like we even see it today. Like I thought there was a chance like he'd come back like more mature and older, but he's messy. The way people talk about him, he's messy.
He looks like he loses his mind next week, huh?
Yeah, that's
everybody.
I don't think I said Chrissy yet. I'll throw her in there.
She's a 0. Yeah.
Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. I did like Coach when they were on the challenge and they were first of all, I like the little flashback to him on Token Sheens when he gets back from exile. But like, I think Jeff said like one of the great moments, and Coach kind of gives like a little smile. Like, that was a really great moment.
It was It was
great on that. I liked that. And then we'll end with Jib cut of the week. Tough one. I don't have anyone off the top of my head.
Tiffany.
Yeah, that's a good one. I liked her.
I'm going with Colby. Classy guy on the way out. Loved it. Loved everything he said. Like, find the fun in the game. Like, I loved all that shit. Like, let's go. Colby. I'm very sad that we're not going to see Colby play Survivor ever again.
You know what? I'm going to piggyback you on that too. I'm going to give it to Colby as well. It's an honorary. Colby, you've given us so much through the years, 25 years. The least we can do is give you a ceremonial jib cut on your way out. But yeah, it was one of those like rare Survivor like emotional moments, crying moments where it felt natural and like earned and not like somebody was doing it to just have a little bit of a moment on TV or whatever, like, or get sympathy. It felt like real and genuine and everything Survivor should be.
Yeah. I loved how he said,
award.
I loved how he said, like, everything is like a connection. Like, it's maybe not a direct link, but like you could like second or third or fourth find your way to like a lot of the relationships he's made the last 25 years to Survivor. Like in some way or another, Survivor put him in the place to meet somebody that meant a lot to him.
Oh yeah.
Or like, so you hear something and you're like, this really, like, he's been on the show 4 times now. He's obviously is famous because of this show. And like, this guy's whole life changed because of this show. Like what? And it was half of his life, his whole adult life, really. Like that's pretty remarkable. And he seems like such a good guy. I don't know. I'm a big Colby guy. I'm going to miss him greatly on the show. And I don't know. I can't help but root for the guy.
Yeah. During that last speech, I thought he was just coming across as like so genuine and likable. I thought they were maybe going to almost flip and vote Coach. I really liked him. But,
I was hoping. I was hoping Emily, but
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I will say, I'm glad Coach stayed over Colby. I love Colby, but if we're talking about who's going to give us more entertainment down the stretch, it's Coach.
I'm not the biggest. You're a big Coach guy. I'm not.
You're the only non-big Coach guy.
Coach hasn't really.
I don't think I'm alone.
Coach. I like Colby more today. I'll go with give me Ozzy. Ozzy was the biggest mover in my. It's like likable people power rankings. He moved up the most today.
Bro, if Sari keeps holding Oscar's hand and kind of dictating everything, Oscar can win. Like if he can like maneuver himself and then make some sort of move to get Sari out, I don't know if the jury will respect that Sari kind of like had to pull him along the whole time.
Yeah, but it'd also be like he's Ozzy. Like it would be one of those storybook endings where they might not be able to help themselves.
Storybook ending could be a huge theme of who ends up winning. It might be a season where maybe the best player doesn't win, but like
the best story.
Like a lifetime achievement award almost.
Well, that's why I had Colby as one of my preseason winner picks. Is I was like, this guy might just be able to float through for a while, and like maybe that would have happened if he didn't hurt his foot. I mean, I guess he didn't get voted out because of his foot, but he kind of just got screwed with the swap.
I bet stupid fucking episode.
Yeah, like if he didn't, I think he would have had a shot to just keep floating through, and then people would be like, oh, we gotta let Colby win. But that's it. Farewell to Colby, an absolute legend in Survivor. Genevieve and Camilla gone as well. But hey, 14 people. We still, I didn't love this episode, but still a great season so far. And a lot to look forward to down the stretch. Coach versus Ozzy still coming too. Like, Coach versus, hopefully, I want him to blindside Joe so bad. We've still got Sari, Christian and Devins. We've got that fake idol planted at Tribal. Like that feels like it's going to do something. We've got 3 idols in the game still. We've got Rizzo playing really well. We've got Aubrey, chat. We've still got Aubrey. We've got Jonathan, who's going to be like a Hulk man in all these challenges. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. That's it. Any last words, guys?
I'm excited. I don't remember a season where it's been this wide open going into the merge as we have right now.
Yeah. All right. That is it. We will see you guys next week. Another episode of Stuff and Torches. See you guys then. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. See you guys next week.